Alright guys, so this will be my last video of Tekken 7 before, I guess, when I'm playing other characters, but I won't be doing as many Tekken 7. I freaking enjoyed it, from the beginning to the end, except for the character endings. Alright, gonna give it a 9 out of 10 in terms of my verdict for Tekken 7. I got so many great things to say about Tekken 7, just from the get-go. But the complaint is the character endings right over there, or I guess they're character episodes. But they're weak sauce. I don't like the character episodes, and I haven't played the online, so I wouldn't make that a complaint, but I haven't played it enough, so I can't actually add it. I'm just going to focus on the single player campaign and the content with Tekken 7. The character endings are the weakest one. It's like Tekken 6, but worse. What's worse about the character endings on the right, there's just no story with it. You just get the characters that you don't get to play in the main campaign. They contribute nothing to it. They're just there to introduce the characters, but it's just not interesting for the slightest. There were a few endings that were really good, or really, you know, Tekken humor and Tekken flair, but overall, they're just kind of throwaway endings that just don't really add to the plot, and they're just boring. I don't like them. I didn't have fun playing the character ending as much as I should. They're all lame. That's the only complaint I have with Tekken 7. Alright, what do I like about Tekken 7 overall? There's so many things to like about it. Alright, let's just get it from the get-go. The main story is fantastic from the beginning to the end. It honors Tekken fans who stuck it out from Tekken 1 all the way to Tekken 6, and they just get a fitting tribute. What is well done is it focuses on the Mishima saga in the best way possible. Anything that we had in Tekken 1, we get acknowledged. Anything that was something that was hidden, it gets acknowledged. Anything that's a tribute for the long history that Tekken's had since Tekken 1 gets acknowledged. We get all the best moments from Tekken 5 to Tekken 3. Everything that we experience gets a great callback in a fitting way, and long answer overdue questions that we had for the Tekken Tekken history gets answered in the best way possible. It's a great beginning, and it's a great ending, and it's a great lead into Tekken 8. Whatever they do in Tekken 8, they can't mess it up. There's so many things to do. They could drop the ball like Tekken 6. Even though it wasn't a horrible game, they did drop the ball because they had a really good thing going from Tekken 1 to Tekken 5, and then Tekken 6, they kind of didn't know what they were doing. Until they fixed it in Tekken 7. There's just so much great things about the story campaign. Even I couldn't contain my excitement because I was hooked. I was hooked from the beginning, and I liked that. Favorite part of it was Akuma being implemented to it, because you get to fight like how he fights in Street Fighter. It's just perfect. I have nothing I could complain about the main campaign because it just does it so well. The Tekken flair and the humor and everything I like about Tekken is just in this main campaign. It just does it well. I was hooked. I recommend to, if you're not a Tekken fan, I recommend to rent Tekken 7 for the main campaign. Play it. And then, if you are a Tekken fan, this is just a love letter. It just does Tekken fans justice. It even makes Tekken 6 make sense to how it goes into Tekken 7. It just feels like Tekken 6 is essential, and that's what I love about Tekken 7. Because it just feels like the previous Tekkens, even Tekken 6, were essential to make a great story. And it's a great lead into Tekken 8. I'm kind of excited what they'll do with Tekken 8. If, you know, they stop releasing DLC, well, stop releasing DLC characters. And, jeez, I have nothing more to say about the main story. It was just perfect. Gameplay. The gameplay between, yeah, the gameplay is fantastic from beginning to end. Even when you go to offline or go into the main campaign, which is done well. Even in the character episodes, the combat is just fantastic. It still has a Tekken finesse and precision that you like in Tekken. There's combos, and then the implication of Ragear, which is basically Street Fighter's critical art, and I guess Mortal Kombat's fatality, is implemented well. You just feel like a powerhouse when you nail the Ragear and just go at it, go to town with those combos. The combos, and plus, it just feels like the tutorial level to actually master the combat is just done well. I really like the gameplay. It's just classic Tekken. I like Tekken from Tekken 2, and it's just continue. It's perfect. I like the gameplay. It doesn't beat Street Fighter. I think Street Fighter has the best fighting game mechanics ever, but Tekken just comes to a pretty close second. So yeah, gameplay was pretty good. The rage arts are very implemented well when you get to nail them, and it's just implemented well. I'm impressed. Another thing I like, the visuals are crazy along with the music. From not the character endings, I think those were kind of like throwaway budget, like they didn't try, but with the main campaign, visual design are just crazy good. It's just crazy good for a fighting game. The visuals are very crazy good. This feels like this was PS4, and I'm curious of what Tekken 8 will look like in PlayStation 5, because let's face it, it's coming to PlayStation 5, and possibly PlayStation 4. But the visuals was just pitch perfectly good in a fighting game. It's just really awe-inspiring how good it is. It's crazy of how good it is. Yeah, it's really good. And the music, that surprisingly, it got me pumped up. From the prologue to all the way to the end, the music just fit. It had the right amount of dubstep, right amount of Tekken music you've seen in the past, and even the final battle music, the haze is just a perfect complement of everything that came before. Plus, I liked the ending song, the Aloneness and the Long Goodbye, which I sang to. It was just perfect. What a great song to end this kind of Heihachi's last bout. If Heihachi is dead, what a way for him to go. That's a fitting way to go. Please don't bring him back. I think that would not do Heihachi justice, and plus, the first actor of him died, and also the second actor Heihachi died too, so don't bring him back. Leave him alone, or if you're gonna bring him back, just bring him back, I don't know, just bring him back in cameos. Leave it alone. I think that's pretty much, oh no. One other thing I like is the amount of content. Take away the character episodes that I mentioned, weak sauce, but when we focus on the story and the fact that there's a Tekken, it plays all the endings from Tekken 1 to all the way to Tekken 7. That's crazy, but you get to see all the cutscenes. All the cutscenes. You get to see the entire history of how Tekken was looking like from Tekken 1 to all the way to Tekken 7. I think that's crazy, and I love that. I love that you get to see the history of Tekken. Not a lot of games do that. I was hooked, and it was nice revisiting all my favorite Tekken games, especially Tekken 3 and Tekken 5. Seeing those cutscenes again or endings was just like, it hit me right there. I might not be a Tekken fan, but I appreciate that it just let me watch all the cutscenes from the beginning. I made a Tekken Hall of Fame because it was just so perfect to go back to the beginning. Say what you will, the content in this is pretty good, and then when we get the DLC characters, you know, the old Tekken characters that you played from the past, but you get freaking Negan, not just from Final Fantasy 15, and Geese Howard from, well, yeah, Geese Howard from Fatal Fury. That's pretty awesome in itself that you get great DLC characters. That's worth spending money on. There's so much content with Tekken, and then there's Gallery, and then the music you could play from the very first one to currently. I got no complaint. Now, one last complaint I have about this. It was the narrator for the main story. Whenever we went to him, he was just boring, uninteresting. And I commented that in my videos. I kind of wish if you cut his sections out and then until we got to Heihachi's interview with him, then I would have liked the main king phenomenally. I loved it, but I think he was the weakest part. And they knew it. He's just kind of the everyday man. He's supposed to be us. And how we perceive all the events going on in Tekken. He just wasn't done well. I cared when his family was killed. Yeah, they established it, but they kept being our hands. They keep being our heads with it. Remind us, oh, the Mishima Sabatsu killed my family. Oh, they killed my family. They killed my family, and they reminded us every chapter. And I was like, okay, we get it. what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna kill Jen? Are you gonna kill the family responsible for killing your family? They didn't go anywhere with it. I hope he doesn't come back to Tekken 8. I got nothing bad about the guy, but he's just so, his sections drag on. I was just going like, please go back to the interesting stuff. The interesting stuff going on with Heihachi, Kazuya, Jen, and the Mishima saga. That's what it's called. It's not about you. It's about them. Or go back to the other interesting Tekken characters. So that's what I'm saying. It just, when he was implemented, it did not make sense. So guys, that's my verdict. Give this a 9 out of 10. If you're a fighting fan, give Tekken 7 a try. I guess really, I'm looking forward to Tekken 8. After they stop releasing DLC characters, which they have the opportunity, please tell me they're working on Tekken 8. I'm excited. I want to see where it goes. And Tekken 8 is going to be the last one. They can end it. They can end it. They set that up towards the ending with Jen to end it with Tekken 8. It would be fitting if they ended the series with Jen. They could. But I know they won't. They'll just keep cashing this out until they run out of ideas. Which would be sad, because they had a great thing going with Tekken 7. I can't believe we're at this point. Okay, I think I'm done gushing about Tekken. Moving on to my next game.